It's not like when we do all sorts of sports, but today.
Fuck. I thought of the song.
No, you were doing good. You're doing great. You're doing great.
We do the show all the time. Like the fuck
Welcome
is
to a new episode of Unequal Opinions. We want to talk about Comic-Con. Comic-Con was last week. San Diego International. I haven't been yet. James, I don't think you've been.
Nope.
Kate, I don't think you've been. Omar, have you been?
I have not.
Right. So we none of us have been to Comic-Con yet, but I know I plan on going in the future. I don't know about you guys, but I do plan on going at some point in the future, but hopefully.
Yeah, I heard women be hella thick in them things. I've been to BlurCon. They be hella thick in BlurCon.
And it be...
Yeah.
Exactly.
I still want to go to I want to go to the AVN award thing in Vegas. That's
when is that?
I don't know, but Omar's dressed for it.
I'll go with you.
First of all, Kadeem, I don't like how you're referencing my robe to all these fetishes you have. I don't like it. I've known you for what, 20 minutes now?
Are you a Ravens fan?
Me? No, I'm worse. I'm loyal to the other team in the area. Yeah.
My guy.
Look, hey James.
I was waiting for that to happen too.
All right, hold on. Wait, hold on. We gotta introduce Omar. He's the first comer. First comer on the
James. Now he want to introduce Omar.
Now I gotta
James,
go.
Now he want to introduce Omar. James, now he cares.
It's no longer an accident.
That's my man.
It's no longer an accident. I have to go now. James, what is this?
I don't know.
Oh my God.
Welcome. I've been seeing all of your tweets.
You know, the church. Welcome.
I've been seeing all your tweets, and I've loved everything you've been saying. So I was like, yeah, I got to get my boy on this. So Omar, welcome to the pod. This is a great introduction. All the shit we said beforehand, we're not posting. So,
I think that's better for me. I honestly,
actually, I don't know, because I've said some shit in the pre-pod that Kata has used later on. So you never know. Just always be careful. When you see the button say record, yeah, it's fair game. But all right. So yeah, I'm not the host. Keem is the host. Once you finish drinking. You good? You good? I gotta say hi to my wife.
My wife.
Oh no, it looked like it's a glare.
I'm glad you got some Chick-fil-A.
What do you mean by that? Can you say, what do you mean by that?
He's talking in code, and I don't know what.
He said he's glad you got Chick-fil-A. Yep, you got Chick-fil-A too.
Much like your wife, when she's watching you play the game, no woman, no cry.
Yeah.
And I want to expand on that.
Good segue.
You know,
because he said woman.
You saw it.
No, I missed it.
I said no woman, no cry.
I missed it at first, but I got it now.
I said no woman, no cry. But no. On a serious note, the new Wakanda Forever trailer dropped. And it's two songs highlighted the trailer. No Woman No Cry, which was recreated, is originally a Nina Simone song, as far as I remember. And it was recreated by Tim's, who is I love Tim's. And so she did No Woman No Cry in the trailer. That's her voice.
You skipped Bob Marley, you cocksucker.
Yeah. And the Fugees.
Is Nina Simone not
and the Fugees.
Is Nina not older than all two?
Yeah, I know, but you don't skip the most popular version
I said created.
of the song.
I said created. I didn't say anything else. I said created.
Okay, fair enough. Sorry.
I said created. I didn't say like, yeah, I know Bob did it. I know the Fugees did it. Fuck them. Nina Simone created it.
Bro.
James, I don't want you to invite me to nothing else. The level of disrespect that's happened in these first 5 minutes it's
all right, guys. We have to move forward. Go ahead, Keith.
Yeah, and I don't know a Nina Simone version of the song. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Bro, just say you not up on history like that. You just more recent. That's fine. There ain't no problem with that. But Nina Simone is a legend.
Yeah, fair.
Whoa.
Right. But you don't know, and you trying to talk to me about the fucking Fugees, and that's the 90s. I'm telling you about somebody who did it in the 50s and the 60s. You don't fucking know your history. That's fine. But I'm trying to teach you something.
apparently,
shut up. Let me be dramatic, bitch. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, he's dramatic, but he's wrong as fuck because Nina Simone never created the song. It was written in 1970 something in Trenchtown by Bob Marley and a cook who ran a soup kitchen.
Yikes.
You fucking dickhead.
Yikes.
You told Nina Simone.
Nina
I own every Nina
version.
Simone album. I even know Nina Simone's live Baltimore album. Don't you fucking try to school me, God. What are you talking about?
Version.
Motherfucker talking about Nina Simone just made some shit up. He won't talk about what credit. Fuck out of here.
Like that.
This got very messy very quickly.
No, this is normal.
No, I believe you. I'm just saying.
But
I came in my robe hoping for some peaceful conversation, and this is the opposite.
Listen. I got you, Jonathan Ogden. I got you. So, Julia, hey.
Hi again. Oh my God.
I just want to say I love the pacing of this podcast. I love it.
No, I don't.
Invite me to the wedding reception.
Hey, do you have can you give me the never mind. See you.
She said, fuck you. Okay. She said, bitch.
All right, back to the fucking topic, which is the fucking Wakanda Forever trailer.
Back to the Wakanda Forever trailer.
With the Bob Marley song that was covered by Nina Simone once in a hotel room somewhere.
The Nina Simone song that Bob Marley also did, and the Fugees and the notoriously late Lauryn Hill helped cover. And transition.
I just want to say you just made it sound like Lauryn Hill died. He means her timing of her arriving at concerts not actually late.
No. She is fucking never on time for a concert.
She's gotten better.
And transitioning to a Kendrick Lamar staple, We Gonna Be All Right or All Right from his To Pimp a Butterfly album. I think I'm gonna be honest, it was a fucking perfect flip. It was a perfect flip. I did not expect it. Like, you watch the first minute and 30 seconds of the trailer and you're like, oh, this is great, this is dope. And then you hear the we gonna be all right, and then it switched into we gonna be all right, we gonna be all right. I was fucking hyped. I got fucking excited, and that song isn't even as relevant to me as it is to people who are out and protesting in Ferguson and shit like that, because that was the staple song for 2015 on. 2015 on, it's been All Right by Kendrick Lamar. And I just thought the trailer was perfect. As far as the movie goes, gives you some hints into the movie with Namor and what they're calling, I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's the MCU's version of Atlantis. And it's taken from Mayan culture. It's Namor is played by I believe, I'm not trying to fuck up, I don't want to be politically incorrect, but he is a Mexican American, if I'm correct. And he's playing Namor. I don't want to butcher his name, so I'm not going to say it. But he looks fucking great in the trailer. The trailer looked great. No T'Challa, but they're playing up on the obvious audience who knows Chadwick Boseman passed away. They're playing to that. And it was a great fucking trailer, and I want you guys' thoughts on it. And I want to start with Omar, because he has a robe on and it's bothering me.
First of all, I need you to embrace the robe, not as much as Kadeem has. A lot less, actually. But I will say, as it comes to the trailer, I thought it was actually a really good trailer. I thought it was the perfect hype video. What's the director's name? It's not coming to mind, but it's
Ryan Coogler.
Ryan Coogler. So what Ryan Coogler has kind of proven in his very short time as a Hollywood director is that he's going to put the culture in some shit. And that's going to be in a trailer. That's going to be in a video, from Fruitvale Station to Creed. And the fact you saw him not in Creed 2, and we saw that Creed 2 was basic as fuck. I'll watch it, but it's not Creed. Right. And then you saw me with Black Panther. With the first Black Panther, I mean, you were rooting against Michael B. Jordan, but were you? And I'm African, by the way, right? My parents are from Ghana, both of them. So, you could understand the plot of everything and the culture and everything. So the fact that, like you said, he was able to combine those two things, and this trailer was only 2 minutes and 30 seconds. and he did everything you wanted, at least from fandom, right? Because you had the fans that said don't recast T'Challa, and he kind of showed in the trailer, I'm not doing that. They kind of honoring Chad and T'Challa character all in the trailer. They talk about the you show glimpses of the war in Atlantis, so you have a plot, and at the end you see somebody wearing a Black Panther suit and claws. So all of that, you get your plot, you get, you know, love for Chad, and you get a continuation of the Black Panther saga. So it's the perfect hype video. The one thing that, you know, for me that was kind of upsetting, you know, watching it was, you know, as a kid, I'm a big Black Panther fan. Being an African kid, you know, you got a superhero that's Black and from Africa, you know, that's super dope. T'Challa's been one of my favorite superheroes since I was a kid. And I was super hyped to see his entire storyline being told on the big screen, but we kind of got confirmed that it's not gonna happen, at least not until the multiverse pulls, you know, homeboy from Snowfall maybe to come be the new T'Challa or something.
She's talking about that. Yep.
But it's a 10 out of 10. I don't think it missed. I don't plan on watching another trailer for Wakanda Forever at all. I just plan on going to the theater and seeing what it do.
Question: how many times did you watch it so far? How many times have you seen it?
I say somewhere between 3 or 5. I don't like to. I'm the type of person, I told James this, like, give me a taste. Okay. I'm not gonna dissect every single part of the thing because
I respect it.
I don't want to set expectations that are false in my head, right? So I watched it 3 to 5 times.
Okay, Questlove, I see you nodding your head. What are your thoughts on the trailer? And just, you know, expand on that for me, and then talk about like basically what your thoughts were on the trailer, and then like if you want, how many times you watched it? Do you want to see more? Like, do you care to see more?
Before you go, wait, I was actually very curious to see which one of you was Questlove, because neither one of you have a fro, so I was really curious to see which one he was referring to.
You see Questlove. It's like, man, you see the doctor.
Plus, I washed my hair today, so it's like really, really fucking like heavy, fucking or whatever. All right. First off, I watched the trailer between 7 and 10 times, I think, at this point. And I think it's a low count, just because I've been wanting the Not Nina Simone song to play in the background of things while I'm doing them. So there's been a lot of that. So like washing dishes and be like, I want to hear that fucking song. And I'm just playing it. So I don't know, as far as like actually sitting down to watch it, probably around 7. And I am also one of those guys where, all right, let's back all the way up. The trailer wasn't what it was. They classified it as a teaser more than the trailer, right? So like, as far as a teaser goes, 10 out of 10. I actually think it's probably one of the best things that Marvel has ever done as far as any of the trailer or teaser stuff, especially when comparing to, I've been thinking they've dropped the ball completely recently when it comes to trailers as far as giving entirely too much away, which is what I don't think this one did. The last couple trailers for Doctor Strange, I thought damn near ruined the movie. As far as the things that would have absolutely hit a lot harder in the theater compared to them trying to drive up. They went to this point where it was like they were really just trying to gin up excitement for this movie, because I think there was a bit of a lull in excitement for Doctor Strange. Maybe because of the Disney Plus shows not hitting the way that they hope, the way it's hit, the way they think it should with everybody. The same way that I think a lot of everything that we saw over Comic-Con, while great and feels as though Marvel has necessarily a direction that they're going in, is also they listen to the Reddit they listen to the subreddits, and they realize that a lot of people want to, what the fuck is going on Phase 4? So hey guys, no, don't worry about it, we got it under control. I always think that they're always kind of answering to the critics to a certain degree, especially when they hear enough rumbling about it. But the Wakanda Forever trailer, I think that everybody's been kind of looking for the movie to kind of to bring us back, or to set us back, or the one that we can really look forward to. Because I don't think anything in Phase 4 that's come out right now has really hit the way that anybody really expected to. Well, I think I've liked Phase 4 maybe better than some other people. Because like I liked Multiverse Madness. I really did. There are a few things in Phase 4 that I'm actually a really big fan of, and I think will get better in time. The Wakanda Forever thing, I think we were talking about it, how nervous I was about it, because I'm like, this has got to hit. This has got to hit. This has got to hit. This can't be a miss. and I should have never doubted Ryan Coogler. I mean, there's no reason to ever doubt Ryan Coogler. He knocks it out of the park every time. But this trailer hit every single tone. I mean, as far as everyone knew the pressure that they have as far as Chadwick being gone, the recast T'Challa movement, where you hear T'Challa in his own words say that or according to his own words, people are saying he said that they needed to recast. There's a lot of pressure going into this movie, but allowing Angela Bassett to cook. Keke Palmer's already working on Oliver Wakanda Forever fucking Angela Bassett. Goddamn.
You heard her fucking speech? You heard her fucking speech?
Like, that's the thing, is like it's hitting on all the right heartstrings. And the thing is, like, from a lot of what I heard as far as the breakdown of the trailers, it seemed like that's where they're going to now, is that fuck this, we're gonna hit you where it hurts. And I think that it's lining up to be a great one, man. I just hope that he gets he works with the visual effects artist better than he did on the first Black Panther, because it's rough.
He didn't film the CGI scenes real well at all.
And that's the thing that I think Marvel's got to kind of get into that mode of, in the sense of finding that combination of, hey, we want these guys with really interesting voices, but to know how to work with visual effects artists, to understand what that's like, it takes a certain kind of director that might have some talent with it, that might have some history with it. I know that Marvel's one of those things where, like, hey, don't worry about it. We'll try to give you some direction or anything, but you need some cohesiveness there. I think what you're kind of seeing with the Thor and Love and Thunder kind of criticisms after the fact, when you got Taika Waititi and Tessa Thompson making fun of the visual effects when they're doing fucking press for the movie.
Also sucked. So
well, maybe
I liked Love and Thunder.
That movie sucked ass.
Maybe
it was okay.
Even beyond that though, you have a lot of people have been criticizing the VFX, and the article came out talking about how Marvel is very toxic when it comes to like the relationship with VFX artists. Like and then somebody else said it's not really necessarily Marvel's relationship with the VFX artists, it's the Marvel's relationship with the company that the VFX artists work for. And then it's like they're rushing. So for example,
projects.
Right. So for example, the She-Hulk CGI has been terrible so far. Like if you watched any CGI trailer for She-Hulk and it's like, oh, she looks terrible. Somebody posted today a picture of Dr. Manhattan from The Watchmen in 2009 and a picture of She-Hulk from 2022. And you looking at it, you think Dr. Manhattan was from 2022, and you think She-Hulk was from 2009, but it's the opposite, and it's sad. So I do hope Marvel gets that figured out. I think the pandemic really hurt them, so I'm not like super harping on them for this at all. But they need to get that figured out.
It makes the rewatch hard.
It does.
It's still my only criticism for the first Black Panther.
You're still choosing.
The first Black Panther, when they basically the entire Killmonger T'Challa fight, they throw physics out of the window. It's like we're jumping from platform to platform. It ends up feeling very Star Wars Yoda fucking Palpatine fight. Like it's like, oh, it's cartoons. Okay, it's just a cartoon fight.
I was gonna say, like, that point's a little overly critical, because I mean we're talking about motherfuckers in unbeatable metal suits and we're talking about physics.
I get it to a certain degree, but the thing that the MCU has done, I mean, up until you get to the cosmic point, is they've kept it for the most part fairly grounded. Look, all of it's crazy. They're talking raccoons from space. Like it's not. I get it, right? But there are just certain things where you're just watching. It's the same way that, like, I love the Matrix movies, especially like the first Matrix. But the second Matrix, I'm sorry, when Neo's fighting the Agent Smiths and he looks like rubber, takes me out of it.
But you only notice that now. In 2002, that shit was hot.
Oh no, I noticed it then.
Did you?
Oh, I absolutely noticed it then.
That shit looked hot to me.
Video game in 2002 though.
Huh?
It was a fire-looking video game.
100%.
It was, yeah, no, 100%. It was like, holy shit, give us that in a video game, Matrix people.
Okay, so can I go now?
No.
All right, cool. I mean, we can go to the next one. That's what you want.
Go, James.
Okay, thank you. All right, so I've seen it twice. I'm kind of like with Omar on this, where I don't want to watch it too many times. It did what it's supposed to do. I'm kind of a little bit immune to the Fire song flip now. It's all the Jordan Peele shit. Outside of that, it gave you everything that you needed because it hit on a bunch of different things, but the actors didn't talk a lot at all in the fucking trailer. It was more so like visuals and music, right? And it left everybody with enough to analyze until the fucking movie comes out. Everybody's sitting there like, oh, is it a girl? Is that a guy? Like, look at the legs. That's a girl legs. Look at the arm. That's girl arm. Like, look how the claws are. Like, oh shit, yeah. Oh, Namor. Like, oh my god. And like everybody's sitting there just doing all the shit. And at this point, I just want to see the movie. So I'm cool. I'm gonna live my life, try to survive to get to November and watch the movie. I'm going. I was gonna go anyway, but I appreciate them giving me some.
Eat less Chick-fil-A if you're trying to survive. It's not really good for your cholesterol. You look like you got.
Well, look, bruh, happy wife, happy life.
Okay. Does James, do you think is Black Panther now?
Fucked up. I think it's his sister.
Okay. K-Dot.
Sure.
Omar.
I think it's whoever Michaela Cole's character is going to be.
Okay. Wrong, but good one.
I did say initially, I will say this, when I initially saw the trailer and I saw the gold instead of silver, I thought maybe we're getting Killmonger in some sort of fashion, but maybe. I mean, here's the thing: if multiversal Killmonger shows up in this movie to be the new Black Panther, while I do think it's kind of like, "Are you cheap bastards?" But this is what comic books does. You introduce the multiverse. This is kind of what you do. You can make up for the mistakes, which was the biggest mistake. Well, no, I still think killing Claw was probably the biggest mistake of that movie. No. But killing Killmonger was pretty.
It's actually going to be Steven Rogers.
I like the idea of Bucky just coming back.
As someone who read the plot leak, I think it's obvious who it is. And also knowing, because I read the plot leak, it's obvious why the armor looks that way.
We can stop it right there because I don't care for any plot leaks.
I've not done a plot leak.
I'm not gonna spoil anything.
Stop that right there. Next topic, please.
And Namor's home is Talokan, if I'm not mistaken. Talokan.
Yeah.
I thought Namor was Atlantis and Talokan is the opposite of Atlantis.
Yes.
Is that what that is? I thought it was very so much.
Talokan is more of it's Mayan culture. Again, it's Mayan culture. And it's just like in the MCU, it will be the replacement for what Atlantis is.
Okay.
Because you can see the vibe as far as in the trailer of the you can tell Namor's half human, half whatever. There's certain vibes
you kind of pick up. The first mutant. So I want to know where they're gonna go with that.
Well, Apocalypse is the first mutant, but
true.
What after Miss Marvel? Hey, let's just say mutant.
Yeah, but I mean, he was the first mutant in Marvel comics. He was like known as the first mutant. So, I don't know. I think it's interesting. I don't know how I feel about the decision to make them blue when they're out of the water.
They look like Na'vi.
They look Avatar. Like the Avatar people, and I haven't seen that movie, and I don't want to see it. And they're just like, oh, these are the same motherfuckers.
It's like they're smaller versions. It's the first thing I thought when I saw it. It was like, y'all biting off of Cameron. All right.
Yes, I was upset, but yeah. But moving on, this trailer wasn't revealed, but they talked a lot about the synopsis for the Ant-Man 3 trailer. Quantumania, got some plot details from it. Apparently Kang is going to be prevalent in the trailer. Also Cassie Lang, played by, I believe it's Catherine Newton. She's going to be in the movie and prevalent, playing Ant-Man's daughter, aka Stinger, aka what's the other word? What's her other code name? It's Stinger and I forget the other name. But anyway, so she's playing Ant-Man's daughter and kind of apparently maybe setting up Young Avengers, which I'm super excited for. If they decide to go that route, you got basically you got the main guys except for like Iron Lad and Hulkling. And so it's like you're just missing like Son of Iron Man and like the Hulks.
I'm just gonna say this. Any Marvel character made after 2010, I don't care for at all. I don't care for at all. You can miss me with that Miss Marvel. I watched Miss Marvel because someone said there was a big leak in that. I was so disappointed. And I'm Muslim. And I thought that thing was trash.
But you black Muslim. She Muslim.
Wow.
Dude, those are
wow.
K-Dot.
Wow.
Am I wrong? K-Dot, I'm tripping?
Yes, you're tripping. How you gonna ask him? I'm the Muslim in the room. You're asking a Christian if he's tripping.
Whoa. I'm not Christian. I'm Jewish.
Oh my God.
I am not prison Muslim. If that's what you're.
Don't do them people
like
you do
that. Your biz?
Don't do them people like that.
How many bean pies you saw last week? No,
never. I've never even had a bean pie.
It ain't bad. The brothers up here, they know how to make them bean pies. I fucking love Miss Marvel, but the same thing I've been saying about all the Disney Plus shows, which is that they're all too rushed. Number one, they're all rushed. You get around the penultimate episode, it's like, you're gonna wrap everything up here, and they do it, and everything's got to kind of button up. The moms switch from being, we need to protect my daughter, to, it's okay, here's your costume. It's like, hold on, what? Like, it happens in half an episode. Like, it's just, they do some weird shit with it. And always, every ending of every Marvel show, except in my opinion, Loki, has ended sort of like, eh.
WandaVision?
Not WandaVision, but WandaVision is now in the context of the way I feel about it after Multiverse of Madness. And because this is the thing, is a lot, because of how intertwined everything is. There's a lot of times where if I watch something else, it gives me new impact or new meaning on something that I've seen before, as far as seeing the payoff and necessarily where the character arc and everything is gone. WandaVision was solid. Even I thought, as far as the ending, even though there's a couple things up with what the Watcher's doing, I even think the end of What If was okay. It's not as bad as I thought. Like, Falcon and Winter Soldier, who the fuck cares about John Walker? Like, at this point, like, y'all haven't really built up anything in that way. I don't know, but this topic was about what, Ant-Man, Quantum Mania, right?
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but the entire time that the Marvel panel was out, I'm constantly refreshing Twitter. I was on Reddit. I was on everything, trying to see if somebody would give me some shitty cam leak of the trailers that they were showing.
Oh, you didn't see it?
I did. So, look, Kang and what he did, the end of Loki's still probably my favorite of the Disney Plus shows. So I'm probably this why Quantumania I'm like really, really excited for. Not to mention just Kang's couple bits of dialogue from what I heard from the trailer are like, okay, son, he's coming to play, and this is going to get really, really interesting. Especially with, I think, everybody trying to figure out what the new next big baddie is going to be after Thanos, and I think we're getting to more of that a little later. But it looks like it could be really, really good. I'm really, really. Here's the thing: more than anything, you know what Marvel did, and maybe it's just because I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, and I've been trying to have no expectations, but they've sold me. I'm excited again about everything that's coming. I think that there was a little bit of excitement that was kind of dying off, even though, like I said, I've liked a little more Phase 4 than I think most people have. Thor: Love and Thunder is misunderstood.
James,
you've been defending that fucking movie.
It's how look. I get the people are annoyed with the jokes, but that's how the people that suffer from the most trauma are the most annoying. It's not a good
movie. It's not a good movie. Even if you remove like the annoyance of the jokes, it's like an average movie.
It's a 6 out of 10 at best.
It's an average movie.
And the best part of the film was Christian Bale, and you got like 20 minutes of him.
I agree with that. The aspect of, and this is where I'm getting a little upset with Taika Waititi the more and more I think about the movie, and I'm being completely honest, in the sense of like knowing that they have a 4.5 hour cut, knowing that they did more with gore, knowing that we didn't get to see it. I watched it again. I did go back and I saw it again. It is more disjointed than I wanted to give it credit for being. It is a bit more disjointed in the sense of the feel, but the goats are funny.
I didn't think the goats were funny, actually.
The goats were hilarious.
I thought the goats were funny. I still think Stormbreaker is like one of the funniest things I've seen.
Yeah, that was great.
They milked Stormbreaker too much. Like by the by the time he was pouring beer on him, I was like, why are we doing this?
The one joke that absolutely just did not land with me, and they kept going back to the wheelhouse, was the Jane trying to figure out her new catchphrase.
But
the thing that if you're being completely honest, like, I've always been kind of critical of Marvel overall as far as their comedy. I still don't think they really figured it out until Guardians. As far as the comedy.
8 years ago?
Huh?
You mean like 8 years ago?
Yeah, but there's a lot of movies before Guardians. So,
but they would have figured it out by now, right?
Sort of, it's hit or miss for me. But the thing is, like, if you look at Iron Man, majority every time Tony's on screen, he's just making fun of people's names. There's nothing really to it other than that. Like, he's making fun of like someone's nickname, like, constantly. Like, oh, they call you this, I'm gonna call you this. But his charisma is what carries through, and I don't think that necessarily anybody was charismatic enough where they didn't let Thor be as charismatic as he needed to be because he was just annoying.
Yeah, I just want to see more Gore. That's all.
Yeah, I'd agree. The Gore, they dropped the bag as far as the Gore thing.
Yeah, like one of the main criticisms I saw was like, yeah, they wasted his performance. And when you think about it, they kind of did. They did. Yeah. So.
That's the one criticism of that movie that I'm 100% willing to give credence to, is they did. Gore was one of the most interesting villains I'd seen the MCU with the way that Christian Bale was portraying him. Even the comedic aspect of it, like when he's talking to the kids in the cage thing, there's like, holy shit, Christian Bale's having fun with this. And they just didn't give him enough. I give you that. And what the fuck is Russell Crowe's accent?
Also, another thing that sucked about that movie was that they copied The Flash. I don't know if you guys watched The Flash TV show.
No.
And in the latest seasons.
Hold on. You still watch that?
I do. It's hard for me to quit
get him the fuck out of here right now. Get him the fuck out. Listen, that show stopped being good in season fucking 3. That's fucking ridiculous.
I'll say 4. 4 was solid. 4 was a solid season.
No, but you know it. You know it.
Do you see me arguing with you? Do you see me putting up argument?
That's a bad show.
He cut me off before I said I agree. I just have a hard time quitting things. I'm not a quitter. So if I started, I got to finish it. Only reason I stopped watching Smallville is because I went to college and I wasn't in my room when it was on.
Hey, Smallville. Terribly.
That's it.
I can't watch a show if it's on the CW. I just can't get over that.
Right, barrier. That's the point, though. That's my point.
Well, here's why I referenced the show on the CW. Flash is bad now, and one of the worst parts about it is, at the end of the last 2 or 3 seasons, instead of fighting the villain and beating up the villain, he talks the villain into saying, "You know what, Flash? You're right. I'm doing a bad thing. I'll stop." That's what Thor did. Thor said, "You know what? You're already here. I'm not going to stop you. If you want to kill us, kill us. I'm going to go lay with Jane." And he was like, "You know what? You're right. I can." Oh, wait, spoiler alert. I can bring back my daughter. Like, I was like, really? That's what we did this all for? We did this. I sat here for 2 hours to hear you have jokes with your weapon. And then you came here and then talked him out of doing it.
There we go. Fucking make his light-skinned ass remember.
I just saw the movie like 2 days ago.
I know, but you didn't like it. Why don't you remember that you didn't like it?
I liked the movie.
No, but that's the wrong thought.
Fuck you.
That's the wrong thought.
I like the
cat. We're talking about Ant-Man. I'm gonna keep this on base because I think we're only like 2 topics into this podcast and I can't be here all night.
When the guest has to bring us back into the fold, that's a problem.
Hey, that's how you
know. Drunk, so we just do it.
You got hella guests that be coming over to see his role. That's how you
know. I'll say I did not do the deep dive you guys did on Ant-Man. I did see that Kang is going to be in it. I heard that MODOK is going to be in it. And that was enough for me. I will say, after hearing that and then seeing the lineup, I was kind of shocked that we're moving so quickly on the Kang Dynasty. They're moving quick with that. I thought that, what I thought was going to happen was that we're going to see so many different variations of Kang up until they were ready to show us the Conqueror. But it sounds like they're going straight to the Conqueror, which I'm like, damn, like what else is the hell we doing for the next 9 years? But I'm excited to see Ant-Man. I actually enjoy the Ant-Man series. I know there's a lot of people that are like, I actually like the Ant-Man series. So I like it. I'm excited. But I also want to just say before I hand it off, Cliff note, I've always said Marvel was going to fumble the next 10 years after the first 10 years, simply because they're going to have to rely on characters that a lot of people aren't familiar with. They're lucky that they've gotten Blade and X-Men back. And
I was about to
Fantastic
say,
Four.
I think you might have had a point before they got X-Men and Blade back, because it's
like Fantastic Four.
Yeah, like when they were going to be counting on like fucking Wonder Man to save the fucking MCU, it was like, you guys are looking shaky here. But now it's like, hey, we can introduce Wolverine, our version, in 2025, and you're fucking gonna love it because he's been treated fucking horribly, except for Old Man Logan, in 2017, which is arguably the best superhero movie.
Yeah, it's hot take. It's high. Arguably. It's high, but
it's high. It's high. And so it's up there, but like.
But when is the last time you saw the X-Men actually beat anybody? Beat anybody substantial? Like they struggle with Magneto and they struggle with Sentinels. I love the X-Men, but who have they beaten substantial in their career as a group?
So Days of Future Past, they correct this shit. But I'm with you. I understand. I'm with you.
Yeah, so I'm excited.
You saying they pussy, bro?
I'm not saying they pussy. I'm just saying when New York's in trouble, no one's like, oh please, Cyclops, blast this man to infinity and beyond. No one's saying that shit, right? They're like, you got to get a real nigga.
Does Deadpool count using like some of the?
Using some what?
Like he used some offshoot X-Men, and they were there, sorta around.
He killed them.
I mean, all right, whatever. I'm gonna leave it alone. Okay.
But anyway, I'm excited for Ant-Man 3. I'm excited to see what they do with MODOK and Kang. And I'm gonna leave it at that because I don't like to deep dive movies before they come out. I like to see what the vision is, and if the vision is to stick to canon and they fuck it up, then I'll be mad. But I'm not going to deep dive, think about something, and then when it's not my vision, be mad it's not my vision. Because I feel like that's what happened with Doctor Strange 2, where everybody was like, "Oh, Mephisto's gonna be in there," or somebody else is gonna be in there, and the motherfuckers didn't show up, and then they were like, "This movie sucks. The expectations were so much higher." Who set those expectations? Your ass did. Your goofy ass did by reading some fan shit. So I'm just gonna, that's my piece.
That's why I watched the trailer twice.
Exactly.
I'm with that, but see, I don't think watching the trailer, because I watched it like at least 12 times, has anything to do with like expectations. I just love the trailer. Like I legitimately,
I get you, but then your mind start thinking about shit that's supposed to happen like after you see like a certain scene. You're like, oh man, what's gonna happen? Like your mind don't do that.
My mind does. Like I will remember this part when I watch the movie. Where is this part in the movie that I saw from the trailer?
I'm set it and forget it.
I get that, but like even if I watch it twice, I'm still gonna do that. I'm gonna be like, oh, what them motherfuckers coming to ship at then? Nope. I saw them motherfuckers coming to ship in the two trailers I watched. Why they ain't in the ship yet? And the movie almost done. Oh, you removed that scene from the entire movie. Okay, now I gotta read about a whole plot that you fucking took fucking out of the movie, and now I'm upset because I remember this, but.
Yeah, I never really cared about that part of it. Like I do deep dives and everything. I think the expectation part is where it is that I like. The first time I watched Multiverse of Madness, I was disappointed. I remember leaving the theater being like, I thought that was going to be bigger. And then I remember going home and I'm like, why did I think that was going to be bigger? And like you're looking at the trailer, and I think the trailer to me did a shit job as far as here are all these characters in the multiverse that would have been amazing surprises, but now you set this. We just saw Loki. You got multiverse in the fucking title. This is supposed to be huge stakes, right? And it didn't feel that.
Why? What do you mean? Why was it supposed to be huge stakes?
There you go. It wasn't necessarily supposed to be. That's the thing. And then, so the second time I watched it, just looking at it as a movie, I had so much more fun with it. Mm-hmm. The second watch, and look, Phase 4, Doctor Strange has been my #1 rewatch. I've rewatched that movie so many fucking times. It is the easiest movie to get through. Like it goes.
What's your Phase 4 rewatch?
On me?
Yeah. Your name fucking James, ain't it?
I didn't hear you, motherfucker. All right. So I was actually watching Doctor Strange today. So there we go.
It's a dude. I'm saying
that's the one you rewatched the most in Phase 4?
Yeah.
He's probably gonna say Spider-Man. He probably watched Spider-Man the most.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Spider-Man after the third time, I'm over it for a bit.
Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi's my still
that was a good one too.
Most watch.
That was a good one too.
The thing with this
I
is
just
when
can't stand Awkwafina.
When it makes that,
I don't have a problem. I don't like her, but she didn't fucking ruin the movie. She just does what she does. Like if you put any other fucking Asian in there, it's still a good movie. Like it doesn't matter. She's not impactful enough to affect the thoughts of that movie. Like she was just there.
He said, "Put any other Asian in there." Is that what you said?
Yeah, put any fucking other Asian in there, and she doesn't fucking like. She didn't take away from the movie. I don't hate her that much.
Stop inviting me to problematic spaces. I don't like my face with problematic statements being made. I appreciate it.
The thing is, the last thing
is a lesson. We're gonna hope.
When Doctor Strange starts making that TNT run like they do every fucking Friday, they show the same goddamn 3 movies over and over again. The thing with Strange is that it's going to be one of those movies where if it's on like midway through, you're gonna remember, oh shit, this scene's coming up in like 5 minutes. I'm gonna sit through it, and before you know it, you've watched the whole fucking movie. Like that to me is gonna be that to me is what Strange is gonna be.
What made Strange so fun for me specifically was that I watched the trailer one time and I didn't know who the bad guy was. I didn't know who the bad guy was going into Doctor Strange.
Yep.
And so when we get there and I find out 10 minutes in is Wanda, I was like, what, bitch?
It would have made it so much better. But I think that's the thing is like I watch trailers because I think of it as part of the entire. To me, it's part of the rollout of the movie. It's part of it to me. And some movies do it better than others. DC, I think, does a fucking shit job. Where you could tell between the first trailer that gets released and the last trailer before the movie, you can see how much the studio has fucked the movie up because the tone's just completely different. From hey, this is going to be kind of gritty to oh shit, we saw what Guardians did. Let's throw some classic rock music in the fucking trailer and change the vibe of this shit. So like I do like seeing like it kind of prepares me every once in a while. But I think the expectation is that like while Marvel has done it themselves, they have because of the connectivity of the MCU. You are kind of every movie that comes out is kind of under the weight of everything that's come before. There's a bit of that can't be helped because they've kind of set that at least core expectation to a certain degree. But if you go into each movie as like its own standalone thing and just watch it as best as you can through that, that's where I think they hold up a bit more, at least in Phase 4 to me. I think the biggest
when it's all connected.
Okay. I want to ask you guys I mean this when I say this, a quick question. I want to start with K-Dot. Give me your top 3 MCU villains. Go now in 15 seconds. 15.
The Thanos, fucking Loki, Gore. Fuck it. I'd have to think about it a little bit more.
That's fine. Mm-hmm. You said Thanos, Loki, and Gore. Mm-hmm. All right, yeah. James, 15 seconds. 15, 10.
Thanos, 15, 10.
7, 6, 5.
Thanos, Wanda, and Gore.
Wanda. I like Wanda.
Omar, go. 10 seconds.
I was going to say Thanos, 9, Wanda,
8.
And Bucky.
Okay.
Ooh, Bucky's good.
So what happened in my theoretical experiment that fucked me up, but these two motherfuckers saved you because you were fucking talking about Doctor Strange and you were like talking about Wanda was fucking great, but you didn't name her in your top 3 because she wasn't fucking memorable as a top 3 villain.
That's not true. I think I just fucked it up.
You fucked it up. That's fair. Hey, because you're known to do that. And so I'm
thinking about Loki for some reason right now. Like Loki's hardcore in my brain right now.
Loki was a villain longer, so I understand it.
It's almost like he's in there as like a historic, like, hey man, you're the reason the MCU is where it is. We got to put you there on the spot. You know, like there's always a slot for you, Loki.
There is though.
There should be.
Though. That's the problem.
But like Loki doesn't touch Thanos, and like if we're really looking at it,
no,
Wanda,
he doesn't.
And
he's
that's all. When we
Loki's
did
not top 5 for me. But
when we did the review for Wanda, it's like, and when Omar was talking about this as far as the Flash, which I'll never watch, but as far as the way that he said it'll ended, to me that was what made Strange 2 so perfect. Was the realization we can't stop Wanda, she just got to change her mind. Like that to me that is the way it should be because you can't stop. So it's like. She has to literally change her mind, and I love that.
In the words of my boy Vic, when he was watching the movie for the first time, we were watching it for his wife's birthday. He goes, "Damn, Wanda's OP." Because she was.
She is OP.
Yeah.
She's overpowered. She is OP. Look, bro. Look. So I dead ass just watched Civil War today, and I'm like, you nigga, I just watched Multiverse of Madness a month ago. You mean to tell me Wanda couldn't fuck up all these niggas? She can just fuck up all these niggas?
Know.
She didn't know she was. She didn't know what the fuck she was.
Darkhold yet. Like she didn't know.
Oh yeah, and Agents of Shield. Like I'm in the Darkhold, fucking arc right now.
I'm not watching that fucking show.
Yeah, I'm not watching that show.
It's a fucking good show.
I'm going back. I'm rewatching Daredevil. Is what I'm going through right now. I'm not fucking with that.
That's a great rewatch.
I'm doing Daredevil. I'm doing Punisher. I'm not doing Agents of Shield.
I'm gonna be the guest that brings us back though, because we were talking about Ant-Man and we just veered off. Yeah, and again, I'm not gonna be here all night. So what's next?
All right, so what's next? Let me pull this up. We have also announced at Comic-Con the next two Avengers movies, Avengers Kang Dynasty and Avengers Secret Warriors. What are your thoughts and predictions? I want to start with Omar because he's long-winded, but he really wants to get out of here. So let's see if he shuts the fuck up after 60 seconds for this question.
Wait, you call it Secret Warriors?
He did call it Secret Warriors. First of all, I want to address you as a bitch. Well, I don't know you like that yet. But,
apparently, there's going to be a Secret Warriors show as well, though.
But I don't like you came at me like that, so I'm just going to call you a bitch, and I'm gonna take a deep breath before I start.
I knew all this shit was gonna happen. I knew all this shit was gonna happen. It's hilarious.
So, like I said earlier, you know, kiss my ass. Kiss my ass. I'm wearing a robe. Kiss my ass. I'm wearing a robe.
He sound like Fisk in the original Daredevil movie with Ben Affleck. Like he got the Michael Clark Duncan voice and everything. Like
wow.
Hey, I'll kill your blonde ass, Matt Murdock.
First and foremost, you don't get to say that to me when you look like Akon. All right, you should be putting up lights somewhere in Sierra Leone.
Look, now right? I'm bringing us back. Give
you won't let me out
because we will fucking do this shit for hours. Now come on, go ahead.
I got the bartender looking for me.
Bruh, say your point.
I'm back. Come on, you know I'm not gonna let nobody cook me, James. You know I'm not gonna let nobody cook me.
Hey,
his hairline look like the Black Power Ranger, and I ain't say nothing all day. I didn't say nothing all day.
Hey,
y'all
will let him live.
God damn it.
That's cheating 101 over there.
It's funny because it's so accurate.
You got the 90s Black Power Ranger hairline. He came for me. I don't respect that, James. You know that.
And he started balding at 24. That nigga is still talking.
Hey, hairline big. Go ahead, Omar.
First and foremost, we see your hairline. All right, buddy?
Mute him.
You should go bald with me.
Mute him. Mute him.
I'm just happy because my hairline's the shit.
Okay, I'm back. I'm back, James. I'm back. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry. You know I'm not gonna let nobody cook me, James. You know I'm not gonna let nobody cook me. But anyway,
I know you. I know everybody here.
Hey, come on,
I knew something was gonna happen. But
like I said earlier, I'm surprised they're hitting Kang Dynasty so quickly in the MCU in this phase. I was surprised when I saw that. And I already touched on that, so I'll leave that alone. Secret Wars. I forget where it came down in the timeline. I'm excited for it. It's one of the best storylines of the comic book era. I'm just gonna say I have no predictions, but I'm just really excited to see what they do with it.
All right. So let me go now.
Come on, Oakland.
All right. So Secret Wars, right? I could say this part, right? Because I kind of read about what it was in 1984, and then
Secret Wars, by the way.
Did you read the 2016 version as well?
No.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So the Beyonder.
The Beyonder. Yes.
Yeah. So there is talk that Kang is actually going to take that spot.
Okay. The Beyonder.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to add because I know why I know why K-Dot reacted like that. I want to add that the Beyonder in the MCU right now is Jeffrey Wright, who voiced the Beyonder in the What If season 1. Yes.
The Watcher, which is different than the Beyonder.
Right, those two different characters.
But yeah.
Okay, Nina Simone.
That's why I think they did the Kang Dynasty first. So they didn't go into Secret Wars. I don't know. Like, I'm not going to try to think too hard into it because I just want to enjoy whatever the fuck they put out and not put expectations on it. Also, when I read the plot of Secret Wars, right?
Yeah.
It's exactly the same as Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball Super Tournament of Power. And they stole that shit from Marvel. But that shit was great. So I'm excited now. That's all.
Tournament of Power sucked. But
it was great.
It was terrible.
It was not. Vegeta didn't like a bitch this time.
The only thing that was good about Dragon Ball Super was the Goku Rose series, Goku Black joint, because
that was good.
That was for the hood. But but yeah, I just wanted to say that.
Go ahead, K-Dot.
Yeah, so it was just anytime that I thinking about the Beyond there, all I think about is Galactus getting smacked back down the fuck there. It's just one of the greatest fucking moments ever. So we had talked when we were doing one of the pods for one of the other Phase 4 MCU movies where we were asking about what the future of the MCU looks like. And I know we all know to a certain degree that they've been kind of building up for Secret Wars. But at the pace at which they were doing Phase 4, it still felt like it was an impossibility in the sense of like how many more characters are you going to introduce to really do the story justice? And the fact that we still haven't, there are some really, really key figures that are so important to that storyline, regardless of the 84 or the 15 version, we haven't come across at all. And the thing is, like, how are you gonna rush all that in here for probably one of the greatest storylines ever? And the only thing that can really 100% top the Infinity Saga, as far as from a story standpoint, like, you don't burn this well. You can't burn this well. You cannot afford to fuck this up because there's not going to be a lot of things in the comic book that you can go to that's going to be as good as this. As far as big a spectacle as this, right? Like, if they've got to go beyond what happened in Infinity Saga, to me, this is the way it kind of goes. And the fact is that, like, I am curious to see where it is that Kang plays in, because from what I remember, Kang doesn't play an integral role in any of the Secret War shit. He's there.
No, but we know how they're gonna use him. Like we know he's in 2015. He's gonna become what Doom was in 2015, which is exciting and fun. Like Doom was God Doom and all that good stuff. But my thing is,
so what, Kang takes the place of Doom? You have to have Doom.
You don't have to have Doom.
You're not gonna fuck this up. Fantastic Four comes out a year before Secret Wars. And you're telling me they're not gonna have Doom?
Bro. Okay, the MCU is not the fucking Marvel comics. It doesn't have to be the same. What you need to realize is that he might, if they tease Doom for, let's say they tease him after Wakanda Forever in the movie, like he's a post-credit scene. All right. If you're gonna build him up, it's 2022 right now. Avengers comes out in 2025, 2026. 2025, both movies, and then the Fantastic Four movie comes out end of 2024. Like, what's Doom gonna do in between then to actually make him a relevant and a good villain, like in between that time?
I don't know.
And here's my thing about the phases, right? So we talk about Phase 1 and Phase 3. Phase 1 and Phase 3, prior to Phase 4, was 2008 to 2019, 11 years. But in that time period, you were getting like maybe 3 movies a year, sometimes less, never really more, but you're getting like less than 3 movies a year. And then what happened was we introduced shows, and like they saw that comic books are like taking fucking over. And so now you're getting 8 projects in 1 year. And it's like, hey, so that speeds up the fucking phases. It can come in 2025 because it sped up the fucking phases.
So
it's like,
don't get me wrong. So the what I was saying was that when we had the conversation after one of those, I was saying that I don't know if they can do that as far as the amount of time in between where it is if we're building up to Secret Wars and it comes in 3 years. I just don't think the time is there. Now, after seeing what the Phase 5 timeline looks like, there's a possibility that this works out. There's a possibility that you can introduce these characters and we can have enough history with them. Like if Kang shows, we've seen Kang and Loki, right? And I think right now he's
going to be in Ant-Man 3.
Right. But the aura of what happened in Loki, allowing anything that we're seeing in Phase 4 happening as far as the multiverse, Kang looms large in the background, right? Because the fact that none of this stuff is possible unless Sylvie takes out Kang, right? So there is this sort of loom in the background, and I'm excited for it. And I think Quantumania. Look, I know I won't spoil it if these guys were trying to avoid it as far as the Kang dialogue in that trailer.
I heard some of it already, but
it's fucking dope.
I'm on Twitter.
It's dope. It's
You're an
dope.
Avenger?
Did I kill you already? Yeah.
Right. Or what and then who they got playing MODOK and stuff. It's gonna be fucking wild. God damn, it's gonna be wild. But yeah, if I'm looking at what it is that they're looking at as far as phase 5, Quantumania, fucking Secret Invasion, Guardians, Echo, Loki season 2, Marvels, Blade, Ironheart, Agatha Coven of Chaos, Daredevil Born Again, Captain America New World Order, which seems like it's probably going to be like a mini team up to then the Thunderbolts team up. Yeah, man, they could really put some work in. And I'm telling you, like, as far as the movies that I'm most excited about, I'm hugely excited about Guardians, hugely excited about Quantumania, especially with Kang. It could get really interesting. I just don't know. Like, to me, the Secret Wars has got to be something you got to do it right. And like, I trust in the process. I trust Kevin Feige, at least to a certain degree. But I also know that if I'm looking at the previous phases, while it all feels good right now that we can put it in the context and see the through line in front of stories, it was never a smooth ride. There was always, hey, we got to retcon this thing. Hey, forget this thing kind of happened. It's going to work out like this. Hey, the phases, this is what it means. I don't know. But I also felt like the Comic-Con overall, as far as what they're explaining and them explaining Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars, I'm not even sure the timeline's going to work out for them. I really do think a lot of this was trying to get the fans to calm the fuck down, that we do have a plan, that there's something bigger coming. I really do think some of it was fan service.
Highly disagree with that, only because one of the scoopers I follow like talk about like Secret Warriors like 2 years ago. And he was like, he was before like the pandemic, it was like the plan is for Secret Wars to come out in 2024. It was 2024 before the pandemic, now it's 2025, and it makes sense.
It's definitely the direction going then. I mean, if you read Secret Wars, you know that there are certain things that are kind of occurring where it's like, okay, this makes sense. Them introduce them on. But there's probably the thing that I was most excited about hearing about anything leading up to these movies is the fact that they're saying that Fantastic Four will not be an origin movie, which to me is a big deal. Mm-hmm. That to me is a big fucking deal. And it also means that like, wow. Yeah, why? Well, nobody wants to rehash that bullshit anyway, because like I'm sick and tired of the origin story. You could just fucking take off and do it. I even kind of appreciate what they're doing with Spider-Man, which is that now we're gonna get the animated series that kind of picks up where it was as far as freshman year. Which
they're gonna ruin the whole timeline, but go ahead.
The timeline's already kind of fucked.
It's a multiverse story. It's not even in the MCU. It's like adjacent to the MCU.
It's canon. It's canon.
Yeah, it's supposed to be
it's canon, but it's not MCU because Norman Osborn meets him instead of Tony.
So not 616. So
no, it's not 616.
Okay, fine. But regardless, to me it means as though there's a possibility, if this is not a complete origin story, that maybe we either meet some of the Fantastic Four before this movie comes out, which would be cool as far as what it is they're doing, as far as what I consider the timeline for Secret Wars. If I could meet Reed Richards in the next couple movies.
You already did.
If I can meet 616 Reed Richards or whatever Reed Richards
well, is the movie, so to be fair, the movie, the Fantastic Four movie is scheduled to come out November 2024. Mm-hmm. The Avengers movie is scheduled to come out. Kang Dynasty is scheduled to come out May 2025.
And then
in November is the Secret Warriors.
I need a well-established Reed Richards before Secret Wars happens.
Here's why I think the Fantastic Four not being an origin story is important.
Okay.
Because that means you're walking into that movie with Doom already being established as that motherfucker. So you don't have to build him up anymore. Because you can't tell their story without Doom. So they're going to walk into that movie saying, yo, we can't trust this motherfucker. And then he's going to come into the movie somehow showing you why. Because I'm motherfucking Doom. But that's why I don't like that being an origin.
Okay,
that's why I like that.
Fair. I think that's a fair point, right? And so I would like to respond to you in that a rumor is that Dr. Doom has sent the team in that's going to cause the disruption between Atlantis, aka Colin, or is it? I don't know how to spell. I don't want to fuck it up. In the Wakanda Forever trailer, between the Wakandans and the basically MCU Atlantis, they said that Doctor Doom is going to cause that, and then he's going to get a cameo allegedly at the end of the movie. Let's just say that's his cameo. We don't see him again until Fantastic Four. Would that suffice it enough to be like, oh, we're scared of Doom? He's a fucking great villain, or is it like we need more? And which is why my personal opinion is that's why they're going to save him for the next phase instead of like just ruining him and like, hey, we're going to throw you out in the Avengers movies and then you're going to die.
When's the first time we saw Thanos? What was the movie that we first saw Thanos in?
Avengers in 2012.
And we didn't see Thanos again until what? Guardians?
We saw him in Avengers Age of Ultron, and we saw him in another post-credit scene, and then it was Infinity War.
The initial
we
Thanos,
saw him in Guardians second.
We saw he was definitely in Guardians. He was big. Guardians still my favorite MCU movie.
That was the first time he spoke too.
Yeah.
Right. So like when you it wasn't it wasn't Avengers the first time he spoke where he was like, I guess I'll have to handle this myself.
No. Not Avengers. No.
That was not Avengers.
He just smiles. He
smiles. Okay. Like, all right. Okay.
Hey, bitch, I'm here. Thanos, you know me. And then like in
But I'm saying if they do a Doom thing like Thanos looks nothing like that character when he first got introduced.
He didn't.
He looked kind of fucking lame the first time I saw Thanos, honestly.
He was pink, not purple.
Yeah, it was really weird. Like if they do the same, and Thanos is still on all of our lists as far as one of the best, if not the best MCU villains. So I'm saying that like the same way that they did Kang right now, who's sort of in the background. Those who watch Loki know none of this stuff is possible without what's happening with Kang. And that's got to be the person we're worried about, right? You could do something with Doom and sort of have him, there's a shadow kind of being clouded that he exists, and we can kind of see kind of moves that he's making or wonder if he's making any sort of moves. I think that would be fine for it.
And you also don't have to tie Doom into one superhero because he fucks with everybody.
Right.
He could fuck with Spider-Man. He could fuck with the X-Men. He could fuck with Daredevil. He fucks with everybody. So he could really pop up whenever. But James, you've been quiet. You can go ahead and talk because I feel like no one's really talking to you, and I think that's unfair. And as your friend, I want to give you an opportunity to speak.
Cool. I'm just here to learn because they know a lot more about this shit than I do. So half the shit they said I have no clue about. So I love it.
Look at you trying to be a good friend and he let you down.
Yeah, she sure did. I gave him a platform and he was like, nah. It's whatever.
You gotta know your friends. This is not James Bat. We're not talking about the Raiders. Like if we talking about the Raiders, it'd be different.
Or soccer.
Yeah, I mean, he'd be wrong about that too.
Soccer.
But we're not going.
Whatever, bro.
Who's your team, Omar?
Listen, Zach, I'm not gonna do this with you. All right.
Shit, he said the name.
I'm not about to do a dance battle.
Jeezy,
with you,
right? Who's your fucking team, Jeezy?
I'm not about to do a dance battle with you, Zach.
Hey,
right?
Your president is black.
It's morphing time. Morph to the next topic. Morph to the next topic, Zach.
Your team? Listen, you look like Darius Cooks, the skinny version. Just tell me who the fuck is your team.
Listen, Terry McLaurin stunt double. Listen. All right.
Holy shit.
Let's go to the next topic.
Making that turkey leg and greens lasagna. I don't need that shit right now, Darius. I'm trying to ask you, who is your team in the NFL?
I'm trying to keep the podcast moving.
Yeah, let's go.
And your fake chain is bothering me. So, K-Dot, if you would please move on to the next topic.
I'm not the host. I'm here. I like making distracted, but that list was long. I want to get through this.
But you gotta see why I was quiet the whole time.
Destin Daniel Cretton has been tapped to direct Kang Dynasty. He also directed just a couple, like he directed Short Term 12. I don't know if you guys have seen that. I love it. It's a good the short and the actual movie. He directed Shang-Chi, the best movie of the Phase 4, and he's going to direct Kang Dynasty. Like, what are your thoughts on that? Like, do you have a problem with it? Because apparently the Russos aren't going to direct this or Secret Wars, but we'll see. I don't know. That could change. What are your thoughts, though? James, let's start with you in the open A's.
I kind of like that. Just based on the fact that you said that he did Shang-Chi before.
Yeah.
And that kind of fits the Kang character in terms of like a little bit of comedic relief, but also like with the shits.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it's nothing that I'm like, oh fuck, I'm not worried about it. Like, I'm just looking forward to seeing what the fuck is going on. Because the last thing I want to do is like either be too high or too low on a movie before I even see anything in regards to it, and then just be fucking disappointed either way.
Fair. All right. K-Dot, your turn.
Look, if I don't hear the Russo brothers or James Gunn attached to one of the big things, I'm a little like, I think this could be a really good proving point for him. I don't love Shang-Chi as much as other people do. I really dig it as far as the kung fu, as far as the fighting and choreography. Still probably the best the MCU's ever had. I didn't find it funny. Awkwafina annoys the shit out of me. Her friend at the table when trying to convince them that they need to do better or whatever is the daughter of Michelle Yeoh in Everything Everywhere All at Once. She should have played the fucking sidekick. Just throwing it out there. But there's like, I'm excited because this is a guy who's kind of on the uptick. And there's some things in Shang-Chi where you're kind of like, okay, trust me, he gets the visual effects thing better than some of the other directors do.
He does.
And the way
fucking scene where the mom fights the dad, I fucking love it.
Yeah, it was dope. A lot of Crouching Tiger, I guess. Some through lines there, but it could get interesting. I don't know. I can't say that I'm like I don't have extremely strong feelings about it. I just think that there are a couple names in the MCU where I'm like, if this person's attached, I feel safe that it's in their hands, and I don't know if I'm there with him yet.
I agree, Omar. Before I say what I want to say, I want you to get into your opinions on it. Like, how do you feel about that director directing? Do you feel like they had a better choice? Because here, before you answer, I want to paint this picture for you. Here's what somebody said to me: they weren't going to let someone who hasn't directed an MCU film direct that movie, and it made sense. Because it's like, we're not going to let somebody who hasn't directed an MCU movie before direct it. So, like, with that said, do you think, hey, I like this choice, or like, hey, I like this choice, but this person would have been better? Like, what are your thoughts on it?
I honestly don't care. Directors are important to a film for sure. I really care more about the storyline, and making sure that the right director gets that shit correct. So when they announced the director, I was like, okay, let's get the movie. That's just me.
That's fair. My thoughts, I was like, oh, I was surprised. I was shocked. Like, to me, it feels like fan service in terms of the diversity play. But I also feel like he earned it. In my opinion, he earned it because I love what he did. Again, my favorite film of Phase 4. A lot of people's favorite film, not everybody's, but a lot of people's favorite film. And again, I saw what he did with Short Term 12. Like, I saw what he did with young Brie Larson. I saw what he did with young Lakeith Stanfield in 2012 before anybody knew they fucking had talent. I saw what he did, and I was like, this is a fucking good ass movie, or these are fucking good ass portrayals and things of that nature. And so I have faith in he'll do right by and like you said, Just Mercy. So he's directed a bunch of the MCU stars before, just in different films. And so I'm excited to see what they do with it. I don't necessarily. I think a good director can make or break your film, in my opinion. And so I'm excited to see how he turns that around with the Kang Dynasty. And I'm excited to see, because apparently they're going to probably film both movies at the same time, just have actors going back and forth, I'm assuming, with Secret Warrior. So it's going to be interesting, and I love to see what style he decides to go with that movie.
The only thing I'll say to Omar's point as far as the director thing is that I think of any series of any art that I think the director probably matters more than anything is in the MCU. There's a lot to balance. How it is that you fit things within the grander scheme of the MCU compared to like how it is that you are going to tell the story of this individual story. There's almost like it's more about almost your managerial skills than it is necessarily direction. Like when you hear what Favreau had to go through getting Iron Man done, right? or the way that we feel about some of the VFX in some of the movies. It's just like, I think about Star Wars and I think about Rian Johnson and The Last Jedi, right? In the sense of probably the most interesting movie that the new Star Wars have been, except for Rogue One, which I think is just fucking incredible.
Watched it today.
Rogue One's insane, but like The Last Jedi is probably the most interesting of the movies, and yet the entire time you watch the movie, he's pointing middle fingers up at the rest of the fucking canon of Star Wars the entire time he's going. It's like, maybe you find somebody that fits more inside the universe and knows how to make things more cohesive. I think there's a balance there. This is why, like, I just heard the Russos, they were going, like Vanity Fair, all the GQ, they always do like going through scenes of movies and stuff. And I heard Favreau cursed out the Russo brothers for killing Iron Man. He was really pissed they were going to kill Iron Man, which is the only reason I think Favreau might have lost it. I don't want him anywhere near the fucking MCU, because I was like, you wouldn't have been able to make the tough choice. But I really do think there's a certain balance that comes with the MCU that you have to be able to fit things within. It's just, it's not like just here's a story and I'm bringing it to light. It's there's some real technical shit that you gotta kind of get through. I do like that there are certain aspects of, like, they're letting certain indie directors kind of cook. You have the Eternals, probably the most beautiful MCU movie ever made. Also, probably the most boring MCU movie ever made. But then, like, Sam Raimi, the reason I like Doctor Strange as much as I do is they Raimi-fied the fuck out of it. They let him do his Raimi thing. And like that to me was like, oh, that's fucking dope. Or even Coogler. There's nobody that's gonna bring the culture into the movie the way that feels. Like, fuck, I still remember going to go see the first Black Panther, how many dashikis and fucking kente cloths I saw.
Cookouts in the parking lot.
She was nuts. And it was like, Coogler can make you feel that, right? And I don't think anybody can necessarily make you feel it.
You had your kufi on when you was.
I had my white and Japanese girlfriend looking mad confused as we walked through.
Oh, so you had your Aquafina with you? That's crazy.
Wow.
Is Aquafina Japanese?
You said white and Asian. I don't remember.
I said Japanese, fucker.
I said
what I just want to say one thing I forgot to mention when we were talking about Secret Wars is, if you're looking for a quick rendition of Secret Wars that is done very well, I would recommend the 1990s Spider-Man animated series. They did a Secret Wars.
That was fucking great.
Series.
That was fucking great.
And it was actually very good.
It was fucking great. They had him battle and shit. Like, he had him pick his own fucking team.
Had him pick his own team that he's worked with before that's been in this series.
I hope they went against shit like that for Secret Wars. That'd be dope. I wouldn't be down for that.
I just want to mention that before we got too off base. But we can move on to the next topic now.
So next, the only other trailer that was revealed was She-Hulk. And within the She-Hulk trailer was obviously it seems like the show is going to be a comedy. She-Hulk, superhero lawyer, going to have Emil Blonsky, aka Eli Roth. Is it Eli Roth? Am I fucking that up? Is it
Tim Roth?
Yes, it's Tim Roth. Tim Roth. And he's playing who he played in 2008, or is it 2008 or 2009 Incredible Hulk film, being the Abomination. Apparently he's going to be like a life guru in the show, and it's built as a comedy. But I think the biggest surprise out of all of it to people who haven't been paying attention was that Daredevil was going to be back for it. Matt Murdock, Charlie Cox's Matt Murdock to be specific, and he's back in a yellow suit, not in the typical just all burgundy or all red suit. What are your thoughts on the She-Hulk trailer? Do you care that Daredevil was back and it's going to get he's going to get his own season, and obviously also be an Echo?
I love it. I mean, I don't really care too much about the trailer for She-Hulk. Like, I wasn't really ever checking for She-Hulk.
Yeah.
It's just one of the ones where you just like, oh, okay, you're going to give me this? I'm going to watch it. Because at some point, there's going to be something that's important for later on. It's going to give me something to look forward to. Like, at this point, all these like Disney Plus shows are mostly just the filler and like a good anime. So I'm just watching it and I'm here. I'm here. Okay. That's all.
I agree with that sentiment. I feel like they're using the Disney Plus shows, except for WandaVision and Loki, to introduce characters that cannot hold their own film. And they use these series also to characters that will be important. in the MCU, like Daredevil. Bruce is going to be in it. Abomination's in it, like you mentioned, and I don't think he's in there by accident. I think he's in there to set up Thunderbolts, because I think he'll be one of the cast members. They need to reintroduce him. And funny enough, I never watched the original 2008 Hulk until like 2 days ago. It just happened to be on TV, and I was like, you know what? Let me watch it. So I'm glad I did that. To see that. I think
what were your thoughts? Did you like it? Bad movie? What do you think?
It was boring. But I think a lot of Hulk movies are boring. He's a hard character to
I was about to ask you, like, is it boring in retrospect to the shit you've seen, or like, hey, in 2008 this might have been a good movie?
It's one of the better Hulk rendition films.
It's better than Ang Lee.
But in 2008 we also got
when he
Iron
fucking
Man.
Looked like a fucking green bean? Never mind. It upset me.
In 2008 we got Iron Man. So I mean, if we're comparing it to other 2008 movies, Iron Man's way better. But yeah, I think they're going to use this to introduce She-Hulk because she's important to Bruce Banner's storyline and can be used as a hero later on to fight Kang. But She-Hulk's never really been that big of a superhero to me. But I think you can use her show to introduce and reintroduce other important characters to the MCU.
It's just like a bunch of bridges.
Yeah, the thing that makes me most excited about She-Hulk are the other characters going to be in She-Hulk. So Abomination, Chang, fucking Daredevil shows up. Like that to me is where I'm like, oh, okay, cool. But I will say this. Every trailer for almost every one of the Disney Plus shows I thought did not make the show look great. This is where, like, I thought Hawkeye, I thought I was going to fucking despise Hawkeye when looking at the trailers for that show. And ended up being better than I thought it was going to be, at least the trailer-wise. A lot better, actually, than I thought it was going to be, because I thought it was going to be absolute dog shit.
Yeah, the last 3 episodes were pretty solid.
Right? You get Fist back in, stuff like that. Like, it was kind of dope.
What's our girl's name?
Kate Bishop.
Echo?
Nah.
Which one?
Not Kate Bishop.
You're talking about Echo? Or you talking about
sister?
Oh, Elena.
My girl, my number one, Florence Pugh. Love her to death. I leave everything behind for her. There is.
You know what? I'm glad we're so far into the pod where she ain't gonna be watching.
My girlfriend knows this. I've told it to her face. I leave everything behind for Florence Pugh.
Real nigga shit.
So She-Hulk is gonna be. I don't know why every time I see She-Hulk, I think about Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law. Every time. If y'all don't know, as far as Adult Swim stuff, if they can get that kind of humor into it, I think it kind of be kind of.
But
cool.
I think that's what they're going for.
I actually do think She-Hulk's going to be better than we think. I don't think the trailer looks good, but I think the CGI is.
I don't think of anything.
Fair enough. I do think the She-Hulk's not going to be bad, but also I do not think that any. If I'm really looking at the show that I think was the worst, it might be Falcon and the Winter Soldier is the one that I have the hardest time going back to.
Wow, that one had the most culture in it. You're a racist.
It didn't. It had 1980s.
Yeah, okay.
Miss Marvel was ass, so I don't want to hear. Don't you dare to put the culture under.
At least
don't you dare put the culture under Miss Marvel.
If you want to talk about, like, all right, there's subtlety. There's subtlety compared to. Let's just call the cops up in Baltimore.
They had a fucking scene where he was walking down the street with Bucky, and he fucking said, like, "Oh, hey, who's this black guy with you?" And it's like, the bitch, this isn't the fucking 1990s. This isn't that kind of racism. That's not what we deal with today.
No, but I'm saying it felt very Family Matters. Eddie gets pulled over. Like,
yeah,
it was too over the top. It was just like, all right, there's no.
It was they were just missing the music.
The most interesting thing that I thought that show brought up, which I need to get back to, they don't get paid, which is a problem. They can't get a loan at the bank. Was the thing that I thought was the most consequential thing in that show. Was like, damn, Tony didn't write any of you guys into anything,
bro. Like this is like, but that's the whole underlying thing of the whole series is that being black and accepting this black role. I mean, this white role is. Look at all the other shit we don't get in America. You don't get a loan.
Yep.
Right. And this nigga still turned out to be Leslie Odom Jr. and fucking did this bullshit. Fuck him. Fuck, he want to be black. You want to be Black Falcon? You want to be Black Falcon now?
But I love Anthony Mackie, and I am actually looking forward to New World Order. But I will say the thing that I have the hardest part is
can't forgive him.
The whole
that man played Tupac.
the Baltimore police thing I thought was rough. And the hardest part I have about the series is if what's her name? Julia Louis-Dreyfus's character who's in the background and everything, Valentina.
Valentina.
If she's doing what she's doing, I need to buy into John Walker more. And I don't think they did a good enough job with the John Walker thing. To me,
he had a fucking punchable face. He had a fucking punchable face.
It's yeah, but then the end it's supposed to be like, oh,
get the fuck off the screen though. Like,
yeah, there were a lot of interesting things, and like the political side of it was good. It's not as enjoyable to watch as I thought as some of the other MCU.
Who was the original Captain America in that? The black guy that they didn't and they never did anything behind.
Oh, you saw the other dude.
Yeah.
There was some interesting stuff, and I will say, and actually go back. Omar, you're right. The idea as far as the from a racial standpoint, it's the first time they really dealt with it. Mm-hmm. But that being said, it also felt very, I'm a white guy in my 50s and I'm trying to explain to you how it feels as far as race. And that to me is where it's like, yes. I appreciate it going for it, but it didn't feel like Ryan Coogler had a part to do with it. You know,
right? He did it. It wasn't right. It wasn't supposed to be that. It was. I don't think it was supposed to touch us because we recognize all this shit already. But Marvel has a huge white audience that doesn't recognize this shit.
But here's Tempest. What?
Where you like, I'm tired of talking to my friends. Like, y'all do it. Like, we know what's up. Y'all do it.
Yeah, I get it. But maybe hire us at least to help write it. But but this is where the pushback I have it, and I'll go to the next topic. But the reason I like Miss Marvel, and I understand, the idea to me, and I know the bar is low in the United States, but the idea that you have a Pakistani female lead, they're not doing, they don't do translations. They're legit. In order to understand the ins and outs of Miss Marvel, if you are completely lost on that culture, you learn something, or you have to at least do an initial step of digging.
Wait.
Yep.
You don't like the police stopping shit because it felt Family Matters-ish, but you were happy watching
the bar
a Pakistani different world.
So low. The bar. Here's the thing. Black culture in the way that it's being represented or used in anything cinema-wise, right? We have 100 years of experience with this shit here in this country, from fucking birth of a nation to today.
And still there's a lot of white people out here that don't believe any of it is true.
100%.
Right, fair.
But here's the baseline. The baseline for, holy shit, we got Arabs on our TV and they're not terrorists. That's a fucking mark, okay? It's a low bar. Don't get me wrong. It's a fucking shit low bar. We should be way beyond that. But the bar is that low. Like we're not that far removed from 24. Anyone that looked slightly Arab,
they were all fucking terrorists.
So it's like
they were all fucking terrorists.
To me, it's like the idea that I've had conversations with white people about the partition, about what Britain did. The fact that they, in multiple times throughout the series, they're basically like fuck Britain. I respect it. I just respect that. Like they didn't sugarcoat it. It was like, yo, fuck this, fuck the FBI or whatever. The fucking what's damage control? Fuck them, fuck the Brits. Also, fuck this. I respect it.
Also, damage control is fucking terrible. Worst government organization to ever be in the Marvel universe. But yeah, I mean, listen, we're gonna agree to disagree. I thought that shit was trash, and I'm a Muslim guy who grew up with Pakistani friends. That shit was garbage. But
is that why you started balding? Okay. So
actually, I shaved my head before I started balding.
Daredevil is announced,
and you need to follow suit.
18 episodes.
You need to follow suit.
It's not going to be. Apparently, it's not going to be like an hour an episode. It's going to be like more like 30 minutes an episode. And what do you guys' thoughts on that? I would like to go first in that because I haven't been allowed.
Because you're used to 30-minute haircut.
Omar and his
because you're used to 30-minute haircuts.
His hair is talking.
Y'all gonna just keep going,
and
I'm
so,
like, guys.
And so Daredevil is gonna have 18 episodes and be about 13 minutes each, which is like 9 hours of like one episode. I mean 1 hour. 9 1-hour episodes. But it sounds good. I'm excited about it, and they've ditched the 6-hour format, so I'm intrigued by it. We can start with Cat Williams. So go ahead.
Oh, is that supposed to be me? Am I supposed to be Cat Williams?
Is
that the joke? Is that the joke?
Nigga.
Is that the joke? So you think I'm pretty?
I don't think you're anything.
You clearly thought I was pretty. You thought Cat Williams was pretty, and you thought Cat Williams is not pretty.
We are potting.
What you do in your alone time, buddy? Don't bring that over here. All right.
I knew this shit was gonna happen.
You did not know this.
I did. I just
James, tearing black people apart.
We are together.
We sitting at the court. Like this is great.
I'm excited.
Stooping and cooking.
This is not a versus.
If it was, this would be post-pandemic versus where it kind of sucks.
This is not that. If it was getting personal and like actual serious, I could give you guys that. But this is like just jab.
I know, but I just want a pod.
We podding.
You guys hold on. Omar tried to give you the floor, and you basically
yeah, to move this shit along because I knew this shit was gonna happen.
All right, hold on. What was the topic?
I'm not gonna hold you because I thought I'd be gone by now.
I know. I'm trying to help you.
I appreciate that.
All right, Daredevil, 18 episodes.
Daredevil, I'm excited for it. I don't really care about the length. More episodes, the merrier for me, honestly, because the 6-episode shit ain't cutting it like Kadeem touched on earlier. So, I mean, if you want to split up in 30 minutes to make it feel longer, I'm down. I'm curious to see who the villain is. And I know Fisk is alive, despite the fact that allegedly he got shot and somehow he's alive and Echo's alive. I don't know. A bullet was shot and people walked away, but both sides walked away somehow. But yeah, I'm excited for any rendition of it. I thought it was the best of the Netflix Marvel series, so I'm excited to see it continue.
I think that great as far as not doing the 6-episode shit. So we're gonna get 9 hours of content instead of the 6-ish that we've been getting with some of the shows, even though all the episodes have been kind of different lengths. Like as someone who's going back to the beginning of the Daredevil series to try to get through it after just watching Ozark, I am happy that it's less. So just this television watching the last 2 weeks have been daunting. It's been truly daunting.
I don't think people talk about enough like how the first season of Daredevil dragged for me, but go ahead.
So full disclosure, I've never seen the full series. I watched like 3/4 of the first season with my ex-wife. We were watching it like all the time and then we just kind of stopped. And I never went back and I kept hearing how good it was, but I've never seen Luke Cage, Jessica Jones. I didn't watch any of them. So after I got Ozark out of the way, it's a decision between Snowfall or let's get this MCU shit out. And I think I'm going to get the MCU stuff out.
And you chose wrong.
I banned Luke Cage.
Snowfall is probably the better option, but I'm just doing
Luke Cage from my mind when I saw him dab.
I'm on my laptop's on 2%.
And I know not to watch Iron Fist.
So it's cool that it's 18 episodes. It's just gonna be shitty when you watch 30 minutes and then you're like, fuck, I gotta wait a whole nother week. So
I agree with that, James, because I'm hoping they do 2 episodes a week. I agree with you. Like if you're gonna do 18 episodes, give me 2 episodes a week.
That's
because like that's gonna be like 18 weeks. That's a long ass time.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yep.
All right. King, you want to close this out?
Yeah. Last thing is we're supposed to get Mutants in 2025, apparently. Because we can't have any X-Men movies because of like contract reasons or whatever with Fox. So we can't get X-Men movies. That's why Ms. Marvel is a mutant, and we'll get other mutants and things like that and iterations of that. So I'm excited for mutants being introduced. I heard they're looking at Taron Egerton for a guy from Kingsman for Wolverine, and that pisses me off because he is tiny. Wolverine is supposed to be short, but not tiny. Like he looks like a little bitch. And no disrespect to that man, but I'm just saying that's what he looks like. And it's not that he is that, but he looks like that. And so I hope they don't cast him as Wolverine because Wolverine needs to be intimidating and all that good shit. But I'm excited. Apparently we're going to get multiple Ghost Riders. I'm just so excited for what the MCU is going to bring. I'm gonna be honest. After Wakanda Forever, I just want to see what they do with Blade. As long as they don't fuck Blade up, then we ain't got no problems.
Yeah.
I'll just like to mention that technically we already have mutants in the MCU because technically Spider-Man is a mutant, Wanda is a mutant, Who else is a mutant?
Agent
Miss
Shield,
Marvel, your favorite.
They're called Inhumans, right?
Well, Miss
So-
Marvel's an Inhuman in the comics, but yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't care about Miss Marvel because she was made in 2016, and like I said, I don't give a fuck
She
about no
was.
character made
Was
past
made.
2010. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see what they do with the X-Men finally in Marvel's hands. But we've seen a lot of stories with them already, so let's see what they do.
I'm excited. I hope they do it right. It's probably I think it'd be the hardest thing that the MCU has had to do.
Yeah. All right.
James, you got nothing. You just nodded your head. You're like, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys for watching.
Should we do what we're
Omar,
most
Shake,
excited about?
Here. What'd you say?
The only thing I want to end on is what we're most excited about.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
I know we have one.
You can start, and then I'll go last.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, without a shadow of a doubt. I still think Volume 1 is the best MCU movie when I rank them. And I did see the 5-second clip that made me fucking cry. So I think this movie is going to be a masterpiece. Throw it out there.
What movie?
Are you a big
Guardians
fan of Suicide Squad?
Yes. The new one?
Yeah.
The new one was great. It was fucking great. It's one of the most fun times I've ever watched a movie in
Fine,
years.
go ahead. James, your go.
Did you not like it?
I'm at 1%. I did. It was good.
I'm going off script. I'm going off script. So what I'm most excited about is for other companies to see the success of all these comic book heroes like Square, and maybe they'll do a Final Fantasy movie like I've been wanting for 20 years now. That's all I got.
Fair.
I'm excited to see how Spider-Man, who everyone remembers but doesn't remember Peter Parker, is portrayed through the rest of the movie. I'm also excited for you to get a lineup that's straight. All right, y'all. That's my time.
See, look, you done see you
Okay.
fucked up because
Like,
he
I
got
already
the last
said
word.
mine. I'm excited for Blade. I'm excited
got
for
the
music to
last
be
word.
introduced. I'm excited that he stopped shaving his chest hair. I'm excited, that he can stop wearing those fucking bifocals and
Man,
get some
what you
fucking
doing?
contacts. And that's good. All right.
First of all, this is Versace, brother. First Versace, but if they are bifocals, they're very expensive.
God
I have my
Gang,
vision.
gang.
Well, this is 2020.
I see y'all later.
The same company
appreciate
makes
y'all.
all the glasses. It's a waste of money.
That's true.
It is.
I have really good insurance.
I got Dolce & Gabbanas. They're fucking stupid.
Really good insurance.
Oh, I got government insurance. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.